Hi, in this tutorial I continue with this display vector graphic, and I move these pieces here from the display I dismantled to use them as a reference. And something I missed in the last tutorial, I'll select this and move it over here so this gray color doesn't go outside of the graphic. Now next I'll continue with this piece, which is something simple I created instead of company logo. And I'll use the create squares and rectangles tool, remove the stroke, and I'm going to copy the width and the height. There's nothing complicated here, just two pieces, rectangles, with one is with 60% gray, the other one is with 90% gray with rounded corners. Now shift select this one, use the align tool, and then I'm going to group this, move it over here, shift select this blue part and use this option to align it on the vertical axis and move it a little bit. Now let's continue with this glowing light. Hold down the control key, drag to get a circle, and I'm going to change the fill to this dark blue color. And I'm also going to paste a width here to change the size of the circle. And I need a black stroke, and I'll change the width of the stroke. Now next I'm going to duplicate this, Control D, remove the stroke and change the fill to this blue color, and also enter a blur here, and now holding down the Control and Shift key, I'm going to scale this down. And by the way, this is not meant to be seen from this close. It's meant to look good when it's zoomed out and you can see the entire display. I Control D to duplicate this. I'm going to remove the blur. Also, black stroke. Let's make this bigger. And I'm going to remove the fill. I'm trying to recreate the previous one and it looks good. I'm going to group it and move it over here for now. I'm going to delete this. Now let's select this tool, and I'm going to create a triangle here. For the stroke paint, let's first paste the color here for the stroke paint. It's this 60% gray, and use these two options, and then I'm going to make the stroke style width bigger to get this rounded corners. And scale it down. Let's move it here to see. Now Control D to duplicate it, then I'm going to flip it. And now we'll use the text tool to write menu, change the color to this 60% gray. Trying to make it approximately the same size as the previous one that I created. I can use the align tool to align this. Let's start creating this part. For that, let's scale this up just a little bit. Let's start with this part here. Another circle, holding down the Control key. And now I'm going to zoom in and grab this and drag outside of the circle. Actually, I'm going to drag inside of the circle like this, and then I'm going to remove the fill and adjust the stroke width. Then I'll rotate it. Then I'll grab the Create Rectangles and Squares tool, and I'll need to remove the stroke paint. For the fill, let's select again this 60% gray. Move this over here. Holding down the Shift key to scale it. I'm going to drag a guide here. Let's see the other one. Maybe I need to scale this down a little bit. Shift click, group this, and now I'm going to position these here for now. I'm going to select all these and delete them, and I'll start creating these buttons here. Again with the Create Rectangles and Squares tool, remove the fill, stroke, black color. I'm going to paste the width here and a height, and I'll type a number for the rounded corners. And I'll also change the width of the stroke style. Control D to duplicate this. I'm going to paste a stroke here, this gray color. I'm also going to reduce the opacity. and select this linear gradient, and I'm going to adjust it. Using the Create and Edit Gradients tool. I'm using this one as a reference. Now I duplicated this one more time, selected gray color, and this time I'll select this radial gradient and change the opacity to 100, and you see the effect here. And again, this is not meant to be seen from so close. I'm going to adjust the gradient just a little bit, the gradient of the previous piece. The one with the linear gradient, trying to recreate the one I created before. I'm going to select these, group them, then Control D to duplicate, again Control D, I'm going to select all these and use this option to distribute them. I'm going to position here for now. Grab these, delete them. So I'll pause here to align these, to position them, and you see I finished creating this display vector graphic. You can see it on the Facebook page, link is in the description. So that's basically it for this tutorial. I hope you liked the video and it was useful. Subscribe, visit my channel. Bye for now.